Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back today. And last night was a little bit of a rough night, both with the sinus infection just being annoying. It is clearing up, thank goodness, but also phantom rectum was in full force. I've had a few new subscribers to the channel, so if you're not familiar, I'll give the super brief version of my whole dealio here. So I have something called Crohn's disease. It affects my GI tract. I've had it for, oh gosh, a very long time. It feels like almost 20 years. And because of it, I've had a number of surgeries, one of those being to remove my colon and rectum, which kind of sounds crazy if you've never heard of that surgery before. I mean, I literally do not have an anus. Like, there's no hole. It doesn't exist down there. I get a lot of pretty mind-blown reactions when I tell people that. They're like, wait, seriously? Yeah, there's no hole. And so the way that I go to the bathroom is through an ostomy bag. Essentially, I only have my small intestine up, and the end of my small intestine comes through my abdomen, and it's called a stoma. It's just a small portion of small intestine, and I wear an adhesive pouch on my belly, and yeah, that's how I work. There are a lot of people out there that have ostomies. Mine is called an ileostomy because it's the terminal ileum that my stoma is made out of. And you'd be surprised. I mean, babies all the way up to elderly. A lot of people think it's just older adults that have it. But no, you can have it at any age. And I received mine when I was 16, and now I'm 29. With these surgeries, though, comes complications. And one of them is phantom rectum. For anybody that's hooked up the old-fashioned way, you know that feeling when you have to go to the bathroom? Your body tells you like, hey, you might want to go find a restroom. Yeah, a lot of people that have had their rectums removed still experience that feeling. It kind of screws with your mind a little bit because you're like, hey, I don't have those organs anymore. Why am I getting this message to my brain? I had my rectum and colon removed in the end of 2019. It was December 2019, and I still have this feeling occasionally. I will say that the feeling does tend to diminish over time, at least in my case. I know that might not be the case for everybody, but there are certain times when it seems to get aggravated and acts up. And that tends to be around my period. And guess what started yesterday? My period. So, yeah, I actually did okay for the most part yesterday. I wasn't having any cramps or anything until the evening time, which of course is when the sinuses, I don't know, it's like they're tired at the end of the day and they just give up, and they were really bugging me last night, and then I started to get cramps, and then I found myself constantly running to the bathroom because I don't know whether this is a correct thing to do. I don't want to feed into my body's, I guess, incorrect response, but at the same time it feels like you have to go to the bathroom, so obviously you're gonna go to the bathroom. But yeah, I just kept getting up and sitting on the toilet. Obviously nothing happens. I don't have an anus, so yeah. Wait, you're telling me you don't set up a camera in the bathroom and show people online what you're doing in there? It's pretty awkward. But yeah, this is what I looked like pretty much all last night, because I really thought you wanted that image in your brain. Oh God, Maggie. Okay, let's get back to the vlog. Man, when I was 16, I don't know if I ever thought I'd be talking about that on the internet, but hey, it is what it is. So I was up fairly late. Zach was up late too. He was playing Xbox with his friend, and I just kept being like, up, going to the bathroom. But I wound up doing it pretty much all night, so I did not sleep very well. It gets old quick. But yeah, I was kind of in that awkward, like, do I not go to the bathroom and try and train my brain? Because I've tried that before, but you get so uncomfortable that you just wind up going anyway. And sit there for a couple of minutes until it passes, and then come back and relax until the next bout comes. It seemed like my whole pelvic floor was kind of irritated yesterday, or at least last night. My bladder was having a little bit of spasming, nothing too bad. And for the most part, it's gone this morning, so thank goodness. But, I was just tired. Thankfully, got an extra hour of sleep today because daylight saving is over. Or it started. I don't know. Isn't this the end of it? Who knows? But we got an extra hour of sleep, so I didn't feel too bad. But yeah, it's just one of the unfortunate things. And sometimes some months are fine and I don't experience that. Other times, not so much. The reason I talk about it though is because it just seems like so many people have issues with their pelvic floor. I mean, even last night, or the night before, I think, a friend was asking me about the pelvic floor dilators that I use to help because they know somebody that could use that help. I'm constantly like, go get a pelvic floor therapist. They're amazing. They help so much because I don't know. I truly believe that everybody should get a pelvic floor therapist. And I've never, I don't have kids. I've never given birth, and I saw one. I saw it because of all of my surgeries, and it was so informative and resolved so many issues with some pooling that I had, something that they don't tell you about when you get your rectum removed, or at least it seems like a number of people on YouTube have shared that their surgeons did not share what could potentially happen after having their colon and rectum removed. But yeah, they helped to, for the most part, fix the pooling issues that I had. That has greatly reduced because your rectum kind of supports your vaginal wall, and when you don't have that anymore, it kind of makes a pouch. And it helped with pain during intimacy, pain in general, helped with my posture, some muscle issues that I had because one side of my body was weaker because of all the surgeries that I've had on it, and my muscle tone in my pelvic floor was like through the roof because it was compensating for the lack of support from my rectum that I no longer have. I always highly recommend pelvic floor therapy. Of course, I have been slacking a little bit on my exercises. I really need to get back into that. And that probably plays in a bit to, the phantom rectum. So I'm going to try getting back into that a little bit so I can hopefully reduce the phantom pain, or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, last night was kind of tiring, and I used my heating pad quite a bit. And what honestly helps a lot, especially when I was going back and forth to the bathroom, was balling up a blanket and just holding the pressure against my stomach. I don't know, it seemed to help. And I'm just glad that it seems to have dissipated this morning. In relation to that, I've been sharing a little bit recently about my ostomy output and how it has increased, and I've been getting a little bit dehydrated. The last few days, it has definitely improved. And I don't want to be like, I told you, doc, I should be on iron supplements, but that's what it feels like. Thankfully, the new GI that I'm seeing was like, yeah, take the iron supplements if you think they're helping. So again, this is the one that I'm taking, Vitron C, I don't know how to pronounce that. I got it specifically because the vitamin C in it helps to absorb the iron a little bit better, which I fear that I'm gonna have a little bit of a struggle with because my ostomy is just, my intestine is kind of throwing the food really quickly through. And this one seemed to be on the reviews, people said that it didn't cause as much abdominal discomfort, which is why I stopped taking iron supplements. I was just taking a very generic, cheap iron supplement, and every time I took it, I got heartburn, and I just didn't feel great. I would feel off for 24 hours. I was like, this is not worth it. I don't mind if I get a little uncomfortable for a few minutes, but it was lasting a while, so I was like, this is stupid. But yeah, it does seem to be helping. And I will say, since my period started, it seems like my output got a little bit looser, but still nowhere where it was a a couple weeks ago. So I am very encouraged by that. And also, not encouraged, I don't know if that's the right word, but a lot of you shared that you also got tired after IV fluids. I felt like goofy. I was like, I feel like if anything, I should be, more energized, which I am, but like a day or two after, right after getting them, I'm totally on the drive home, like ready to fall asleep. Yeah. Well, hopefully I won't have to do it too long. I'm constantly trying to drink my fluids. And somebody put a comment on one of the videos where I was talking about how I take electrolytes. I do the Noon tablets. Every time I talk about it, somebody asks. Noon tablet is spelled Nuun. You can find them on Amazon. You just drop the tablet into your water, and it helps keep you hydrated, basically. But somebody had mentioned that they like to drink hot teas, and that helps too. So I've kind of been rotating between my electrolyte fluids and different tea flavors, not caffeinated ones, just, herbal teas. And I think that that's helping too. I think that it is. I think I'm absorbing them pretty good. So, yeah, I'm hoping that we're turning a corner here. Weighed myself this morning. I was 91. I ate some oatmeal, trying to get, as much as I can in calorie-wise. I struggle. I talk about it a lot, but I do struggle with that quite a bit. Just, it's a weird relationship with food that I have, because for a long time, where I didn't have the best GI doctor. Basically, they were telling me to eat more calories, and no food made me feel good because I was getting obstructed. So I was explaining this to Zach the other night. I forget if I told you guys. I was telling him, what's the point of me eating if I'm not absorbing it anyway and it's making me feel bad? Like, I recognize I need to go get help. We can't do this long term. But I'm not going to sit here tonight, force dinner down that, I don't like, doesn't make me feel good, and I won't absorb anything from anyways. And he was like, I never really thought of it like that. And he's like, I agree with you then. Like, if it's going to make the relationship with food harder for you and you're not getting anything out of it anyway, be comfortable tonight. Like, be comfortable. Obviously can't do that long term, which is why I saw a GI doctor, to hopefully figure things out. But I think that was the first time anybody ever said that to me, because I'm kind of used to doctors and family and a lot of people in life just saying, well, you have to eat more. You just gotta eat more. Like, well, I think if you ate more and more and it made you feel bad and you had essentially the equivalency of explosive diarrhea, you probably wouldn't be putting a whole lot in your mouth. So, yeah. Anyways, we're keeping our fingers crossed. We're turning a corner here. But I was very proud. Yesterday was the first day in weeks that I did not nap. Now, I fell asleep early. I did fall asleep at like 9:30 p.m. But I woke up pretty early. I woke up at, probably like 6:30, I think. Or 7. Somewhere around that time, because it was still dark out. And I went through the whole day. We had a busy day, and I was all right. I didn't feel great by nighttime, obviously, as I shared, but I was encouraged by that. Today is a little bit of a lazier day, just chilling around the house, and I'm trying to do dishes because our stupid dishwasher is being annoying. It's super old. I want to say it is from the 90s. Or like early 2000s. It's struggling, but if that's the only problem you have in life, you're doing pretty good, right? So, I was doing some of the dishes this morning and, just catching up on YouTube, what everybody's doing, and yeah, so that's really what's going on now. And the fact that I am picking up a camera and filming. Like, that makes me so happy that I'm doing that, because when you guys don't hear from me, it's usually because I really don't feel good or I don't have a lot of energy to do it, but yay. Anyways, guys, I'm going to continue trying to clear this stupid sinus infection. Some of you were asking, because I did get sinus surgery in the spring, and I did ask the surgeon, hey, what happens if I get another sinus infection? And he basically gave me a plan for it. So plan seems to be working. I have never been able to clear out a sinus infection. I don't want to get too TMI here, but anytime that I felt the pressure sounded like this, it's been stuck. Like, nothing comes out. That's not the case this time. So I'm very happy. It's definitely, that surgery was very good. So anyways, guys, I hope that you are feeling great. I hope that you have been enjoying your weekend, and let's all start the week off strong. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.